King Solomon has always been one of the most fascinating figures in history because the Bible and other ancient texts make so many extraordinary claims about him. Recently, scientists announced that they had opened what they believe to be King Solomon's tomb, and the discoveries inside have left experts stunned. Hidden beneath ancient Jerusalem, this chamber was not just a burial site. It contained things that should not exist at all: mysterious inscriptions, a strange ring with symbols no one can fully explain, and a scroll that experts say defies all understanding. Some researchers even call this discovery too dangerous to reveal completely. When the Temple of Solomon was destroyed in 586 BCE, every treasure connected to it disappeared from history. Many thought they were lost forever. But this discovery may change everything. Even historian Graham Hancock has spoken out, saying that this is far bigger than anyone imagined. Authorities appear to be scrambling to control the story, but small pieces of truth are already slipping out. The real question is whether this was Solomon's final hidden secret, or perhaps a doorway that was never meant to be opened. Solomon himself is a man who exists halfway between history and legend. He is remembered as the wisest king to ever live, ruling over a golden age in ancient Israel and building the first temple in Jerusalem. But behind the stories of wealth, glory, and wisdom lies something stranger: whispers of secrets, powers, and mysteries that go far beyond politics or stone monuments. The Bible says Solomon ruled for 40 years as the son of David and Bathsheba, chosen and anointed by God. His wisdom became so famous that rulers and scholars from across the world came to see him. The Queen of Sheba herself visited and was left astonished not only by his intelligence but also by the vast power and sophistication of his kingdom. But in other ancient writings outside the Bible, Solomon is described in a much different way. Not just as a wise king but as someone who possessed knowledge of the unseen. Some of these stories claim he had a magical ring inscribed with the name of God or with a sacred symbol. This ring supposedly gave him the ability to control spirits and even demons. According to legend, he commanded 72 entities with unique powers, all bound to his will through the ring. Some traditions even say that Solomon's temple was not built by human labor but with supernatural help. These ideas have influenced mystical writings and occult traditions for centuries, shaping beliefs in magic from the Middle Ages all the way to modern times. If Solomon truly held such power, then one mystery becomes even greater. Where is his tomb? Unlike King David, who at least has a traditional site associated with his burial, Solomon has none. There is no tomb, no shrine, no sacred site to visit. The Bible only makes a vague note that he was buried with his ancestors in the city of David, but no clear location was ever confirmed. This silence has led many to believe that his resting place was hidden deliberately, perhaps to protect whatever secrets or objects might have been buried with him. Some even suggest that his tomb was never meant to be found at all. Despite the centuries of silence, Solomon's name has never disappeared. His story continues to appear in theology, archaeology, and even in conspiracy theories. What has fueled this mystery the most is the growing belief that his true secrets are locked underground, sealed away in hidden vaults beneath Jerusalem. And if these recent discoveries are real, they may not only hold scrolls or treasures of gold, but something far more dangerous, something the world may not be ready to face. In recent years, archaeologists working in the city of David have made some of their most remarkable discoveries using advanced scanning technology. Instead of digging recklessly and risking damage, they turn to tools like muon imaging and ground-penetrating radar. These methods allow experts to see what lies beneath the earth by detecting voids and hidden spaces inside the rock. What they found shocked even the most experienced researchers. Beneath areas once thought to be fully excavated, new chambers began to appear on their scans. Some of these hidden spaces had strange architectural features that didn't match anything else nearby. One research team described it as anomalous void space, while another unnamed source admitted that it looked very much like a carefully designed burial vault. For years, these findings remained locked away, not because they couldn't reach the spaces, but because of the complex web of restrictions that surround Jerusalem. Political tension, religious sensitivities, and endless layers of bureaucratic red tape made even the idea of entering those chambers nearly impossible. In a city where moving one stone can ignite international outrage, exploring an underground vault was almost unthinkable. But something shifted in early 2025. Quietly, without public announcements, a small group of specialists was granted access to one of those hidden chambers beneath what had always been considered an unremarkable structure. What they uncovered has not been fully revealed, but rumors are already circulating. Whispers of strange markings, fragments of unknown material, and a symbol etched deep into ancient stone have spread beyond the excavation site. Could this be the breakthrough so many have been waiting for? Could it be that archaeologists are now standing on the edge of one of humanity's oldest and most closely guarded secrets? The area beneath Jerusalem has long been called a forbidden zone, not just in a religious sense, but politically and archaeologically. The deeper excavators dig, the more dangerous and controversial things become. The Temple Mount is almost completely off-limits, with any attempt at excavation sparking global outrage. But the city of David, just south of that sacred and politically charged ground, has always offered a slightly safer alternative for exploration. Even so, it has now become the center of an excavation that may have revealed something beyond imagination. The city of David is the oldest part of Jerusalem, where layers of history rest on top of each other, from the Canaanites to the reigns of King David and Solomon. It is believed to be the site of the earliest palace complex, the water systems carved into stone, and possibly even the royal tombs themselves, deliberately hidden within the steep rocky slopes. For years, archaeologists have walked a fine line here, trying to study what lies beneath without causing destruction. That is why the introduction of non-invasive scanning technology has been such a game changer. In 2024, a joint effort between researchers from Israel, the UK, and Japan quietly began mapping the underground zones with high-tech tools. Muon tomography, which uses subatomic particles to detect density differences, gave them the ability to see into the earth without digging at all. This same technology had already revealed hidden chambers in Egypt's Great Pyramid, and now it was applied to Jerusalem's ancient bedrock. The scans revealed something no one had expected: a rectangular chamber hidden inside a shelf of solid stone. It wasn't connected to any known water channel or burial site. It didn't appear on any historical maps. And strangest of all, it had no visible entrance. It was as if the room had been intentionally sealed away, hidden in plain sight for thousands of years, waiting for this exact moment in history to be uncovered. At first, the strange chamber was brushed off as nothing more than a natural void caused by erosion. But just weeks later, a second scan proved otherwise. This time, the technology revealed sharp geometric angles and stone slabs that looked deliberately placed. It was no accident of nature. Someone had built this. Quietly, without telling the public, a very small team of experts was given permission to go inside. No news cameras, no journalists, just archaeologists moving stones one by one in silence, knowing that whatever they were about to uncover could rewrite history. When they finally broke through, the reaction was immediate and intense. An internal report sent to one agency described the space as a vaulted chamber filled with markings no one had ever seen in connection with Solomon before. Another archaeologist, speaking anonymously, said, "This is not what we expected. This changes everything." Yet, not a single photo was released. No official maps, no press statements. The discovery was immediately sealed off from public eyes. Still, fragments of information began to leak out. The chamber, according to whispers, was dry and untouched, with no signs of looting, collapse, or human interference. It had remained perfectly sealed for thousands of years. What covered its walls were not random carvings or decorative flourishes. They were symbols, precise, geometric, repeated with eerie perfection, as if they carried meaning or power. One carving reportedly matched the ancient design known as the Seal of Solomon, a mystical pattern said to represent control over spirits and divine authority. Speculation erupted almost instantly. Had the team finally stumbled upon Solomon's lost tomb? Or was this chamber something far older, deliberately hidden beneath his legend? Some even questioned whether authorities had known of its existence long before but waited until now, when political tensions, new technology, and global interest aligned, to finally break it open. In the days that followed, more experts were brought in, not just archaeologists, but biblical scholars, symbologists, and historians specializing in ancient mysticism. Among them was a British researcher known for his work on apocryphal texts that describe Solomon's rituals, his control of entities, and the protections he supposedly used to guard knowledge too dangerous to share. Yet, instead of excitement, the mood among these experts was heavy with unease. The deeper they studied, the clearer it became. This chamber might not have been meant to be opened at all. Inside the vault, the atmosphere itself felt different. The air was dry, heavy, with a faint metallic tang that clung to the throat. Unlike typical burial sites, there were no scattered artifacts, no broken pottery, no gold ornaments. Everything inside had been arranged with intention, as though it served a specific purpose. But the purpose didn't feel ceremonial, it felt like a warning. The room itself was surprisingly small, just a few meters across. The stone blocks that formed its walls were so precisely cut and aligned that they seemed fused together, as if crafted with techniques long lost to history. At the very center stood a single structure, resembling either a pedestal or a burial slab. But when the dust was brushed away, there were no bones, no body, not even the faintest trace of human remains. Only smooth, untouched stone, waiting, almost as if whatever once belonged there had been removed, or perhaps never meant to rest there at all. The first thing that caught everyone's attention inside the chamber were the markings carved into the walls. They weren't like anything normally found in ancient Hebrew texts. Some resembled Aramaic, others looked closer to cuneiform, but none of them fit into any known language or writing system. They seemed intentionally confusing, as if designed to hide meaning. At the base of one corner, the team found broken fragments scattered across the floor. They looked like thin tablets, made of clay and stone, with something pressed between them, possibly pieces of ancient parchment. One translator noticed something chilling. The same name appeared again and again across the fragments. The name was Shem-Hosai. To most of the team, it didn't mean much. But for those familiar with ancient mystical texts, the name was deeply unsettling. Shem-Hosai is known from the Book of Enoch, a banned text left out of most biblical traditions. He was said to be one of the Watchers, fallen angels who came down to earth, taught humans forbidden knowledge, and were punished for it. Some legends even claim Solomon knew the names of these beings and used their secrets to build his temple. To see that name carved into the chamber's walls sent a shock through the entire group. Within hours of the discovery, officials arrived quietly but quickly. Work was halted. Photography was banned. A source later claimed the chamber was scanned again using portable 3D imaging equipment, but the data was locked away and removed immediately. The fragments, the tablets, even the carvings were carefully documented, packed, and taken away under tight security. Most of the excavation team was escorted out, leaving only a few experts behind. In the following days, specialists from outside Israel were flown in, scholars from Britain, Germany, and Morocco. But these weren't ordinary archaeologists. They were experts in ancient languages, esoteric traditions, and forbidden texts. According to one insider, among the items taken from the vault was a sealed stone container bound with metal clasps. Inside it, they found a scroll wrapped in oil-treated cloth. Unlike most scrolls that crumble at the slightest touch, this one was perfectly preserved, almost as if someone wanted it to last until now. No official translation has been released, but whispers from those close to the project say the text wasn't a prayer or a simple historical account. It wasn't written to honor God or even man. Instead, it was a set of instructions. The scroll contained descriptions of symbols, detailed rituals, and invocations, but not directed toward heaven. They were addressed to beings described as those who serve between worlds. That phrase alone set off alarm bells. Some experts quietly called it a missing companion to the Testament of Solomon, a mysterious text long dismissed as medieval fiction. Others argued it might predate Solomon himself, making it one of the oldest occult manuscripts ever uncovered. But what truly unsettled the researchers wasn't just what the scroll said, it was how it was written. The text didn't read like a record of past events or protective prayers. It read like commands. Commands that looked as if they were written to bind, control, or trap something inside the chamber itself. And yet, the chamber was opened. The seal was broken. The scroll was unwrapped. Now, the question haunting everyone is no longer simply about Solomon's tomb, or even his treasures. It's about whether what was sealed there was ever meant to be released.